Hello Australia and hello world. Welcome to the final edition of Boxed, an all-Australian feature. 5 performers, 5 composers, 2 guest curators and expert comments by an Australian arts elder. This is Boxed 8.0. In today's feature, you will get a whiff of the great Australian outdoors, the sand, the sea, the woods, as well as jaw-dropping adventures in technology and digital ideas. Guest curators Nithya Nagarajan and Raghav Handa have very carefully curated today's edition. They've selected 5 performers, matched them with 5 composers, to celebrate the vitality of the Australian live arts sector, the energy of Indigenous artists and artists of colour, who are setting examples for the world to watch. For those of you who have been with us from the first weekend on May 16th, you can see the graph and the growth of Boxed. In Boxed 1.0, dancers responded to the simple prompt, 2 minutes of choreography, shot with their phone cameras from 2 different angles, sent to us so we could edit it with our technical team, and we also provided the music. But very slowly, as the idea gained momentum, dancers seized control. They were choosing new locations. They were editing their own work and also reaching out to their own group of friends for original music. So, you can see the shift over 7 weeks. Today's performers are Bindu Rajendren, Devika Chauhan Bilimoria, Sanchita Abrol, Naavikaran and Amrita Hepi. With closing comments by dancer, institution builder, Australian diva Anandavalli, I bring you Boxed 8.0.
In Australia, Currently, we are on the threshold of easing lockdown. Hence, I've chosen my deck or veranda as my dance site to represent this in-between space. In this composition and choreography, Niharika, Senapati and I have endeavored to work with contrasts, opposing ideas and feelings that seem to be so overwhelmingly tangible these days. The interplay of light and shadows represent the juxtapositioning of fear and hope, apprehension and comfort, trepidation and equanimity. Niharika's music explores with the suspension of moving forward. It culminates with a hymn-like vision, inviting hope and rest. The current situation has turned what we know as our normal life on its head. For many, this situation has been a welcome relief to be able to spend time at homes, our safe haven. For many others, home is not a safe haven. It exacerbates anxiety, resulting in mental illnesses, increases domestic violence, amongst many others. This composition and choreography has attempted to tease out these experiences. Life is always caught by light, but perhaps shadows have more to say.
I'm a multidisciplinary artist and Bharatanatyam dancer based in Naarm, Melbourne. One aspect of my performance practice sees my Bharatanatyam dance body working with video technology to create a multi-temporal experience of Bharatanatyam for the viewer. The work touches upon my interests in hortological manifestations of gesture and form, and was made in my house with this incredible boxed mirrored portal that is regularly used as a shelf and is occupied by found objects and treasured little trinkets. I chose the mirror as the household object to visualize the gesticulations of Bharatanatyam mudras in a speculative dimension. Additionally, seeing the two cameras in the frame created an extra temporality within this piece, which enhances the ambiguity of the real. The mirror not only serves as a symbol of reflection during this time, but it also, as one gazes into the mirror upon themselves can be a portal into the infinite. As this boxed mirror echoes itself, all the light that falls into it is at the mercy upon its visual infinitude. This work asks, in what temporality does Bharatanatyam reside? The sound was designed by Amy Hanley after the visuals were put together. Thank you.
Hi, I am Naavikaran, and I had the honor of sharing dance and movement on Jagara and Turrbal country in Brisbane, Australia. The piece reflects my understanding of embodying fluidity and exploring liberation. I really liked the opportunity to create a contemporary body movement and set it up in nature. We are very privileged here at Australia to be able to have beautiful spaces to explore nature in, and to create a dance work within such a setting was an even bigger honor. The work to me also represents the resilience and strength that I have been able to embody due to the support of the Black and Indigenous people and the people of color in my communities, and would like to dedicate the work as a mark of solidarity to the Black Lives Matter and the Aboriginal Lives Matter movement.
Namaskar, I'm Sanchita Abrol. In this lockdown, I actually didn't feel boxed. I felt that I could reconnect with myself, revive, and pause to rethink. So, I have encapsulated this in my new choreography, The Pearl, for which music was composed by Team Atmosphere. Life at times is monotonous. This is also true for arts. Like a sand particle sways in the wind, we artists travel the world. However, we often only grow vertically within our art form. We grow within a circle that we only draw. This time of solitude that we now all are experiencing offers potential to re-energize ourselves and explore the horizontal sides of our own artistic nature. This to me is symbolized by a pearl, which develops in seclusion within an oyster. However, upon opening, a beautiful pearl has been crystallized. So, as an artist, it signifies that once this lockdown is over and our oysters are opened, we can again shine like a beautiful pearl.
Hi, my name's Amrita Hepi and I'm talking to you from Bunurong country on the Kulin Nation, now known as the Mornington Peninsula in Victoria. Our idea for Boxed was window, and that was the object that we were working with. This actually wasn't my idea, this was Aj's idea. It was an honour to be invited to do this collaborative project, and it was an honour to work with Bhavani and with Arjunan. It's my first time, I guess, interacting and working with classically trained Indian musicians and encountering the idea of ragas. The object that we were working with was window, and during this pandemic, I feel like I'd been flooded with watching a lot of dance online, and even prior to this pandemic, was watching a lot of dance online. And so I wanted to make something where it wasn't about the actual dancing on the screen, but rather about how we're interfacing with screens when we're thinking about dancing, and how actually the choreography of a screen and I guess choreography in media and in these interfaces between the computer and phones I think will need to change, and that's what I wanted to play with. When I was first asked to do this, I was saying to Ash and to Bhavani, I was like, I mean, I didn't know what would be interesting or what could potentially be interesting for myself as a maker, but also too for the audience to watch anymore. And so we wanted to play around with this form, and this form of like the never-ending window. So it's something that we're seeing and we're seeing and we're seeing again. Yeah, so that was our idea for Boxed. I hope you enjoyed it.
Hi, I'm Ananda, the Artistic Director of the Lingayan Dance Company based in Sydney, Australia. Before I give my feedback on the segments of the Australian-based performers that you've just watched, I want to say thank you to Anita for not only launching this initiative in giving dancers and musicians a lifeline to create, at a time when the future of live arts is in dire state, and for recompensing them with an honorarium. Thank you also to the curatorial advisors Nithya, Nagarajan and Raghav, Handa for the great job they have done in pairing the artists and pulling it all together, including yours truly. The video clips, starting with Bindu, Rajendren and Niharika, Senapati. Bindu's Mohiniyattam-based dance vocabulary as she navigates the transitional space of her deck expresses a sense of silent dignity as she traverses through her dance the path of the known and unknown. Beautiful, gentle movements portray the contentment and togetherness that some have experienced living through this pandemic, wherein head-to-wall defeat emphasizes that for some, isolation has been traumatic and wounding. Niharika's sound design has a clear empathy to the dance and travels the journey the dancer has embarked upon. The shadows of foliage create a moving design upon Bindu's dancing body, evoking both a feeling of comfort and indecisiveness, which the music echoes and accompanies to that final moment of reaching for hope. Listening to Bindu speak, my one wish with this clip was the possibility that one version of the film could have been shot just before sunset, showing the transition of the juxtaposing space to the day and mood. When I clicked on the portal of possibilities, I was transfixed by the clearly defined posture, movement of the body and hand gestures, moving between the multiple panels of mirrors and layering each with multiple floating mudras that seemingly had a definitive purpose. Working with mirrors has that effect, but it is not always used with an understanding of the complexity and misperception it can cause to the viewer. Here, that was not the case. Devika, being a multidisciplinary artist with a strong hold on her Bharatanatyam vocabulary, challenged the viewer to reach their own conclusions of her artistic voice and interpretations of creating in isolation. It's an almost hypnotic piece of work. It's got definition, and more importantly, it engages the viewer. The compelling sound design by Amy Hanley finds its way into every nook and cranny of the movement vocabulary. I did wonder which came first, the dance movements or the music. This 2-minute work created for Boxed has the potential to develop into a full-length work. The visual overlapping of white and the nymph-like vision dancing in the waves seems almost surreal given the trauma the world has been experiencing, caused by a minute floating particle. Yet, as Australians transit from months of staying at home to now venturing out, the dancing body of Sanchita among the waves of an iconic Australian beach captures both the spirit of hope and the Australians' love for the water and their beloved beaches. The soundscape by Matt Cornell balances that aspiration for that yet unidentified new normalcy with a longing for what was. There's a sense of feeling comfortable on the land that is brought upon by the landscape within which Naavikaran and Jonnine Nokes have chosen to perform their piece for Boxed. When I first clicked on the play button, I thought how lucky they are to actually have birds chirping in the background, realizing soon enough that the sounds of nature have been seamlessly integrated into the soundscape. It's clear that Naavikaran would ideally love to make the forest, nature, a permanent performance platform. The earthy and flowing movement vocabulary and uniting synthesis of the music, an underlying statement on how much the natural environment influences their artistic practice. Windows Within Look is aptly titled. My immediate reaction was, I want to see Amrita dance. But as instantly, like a trip switch going off, you know it's presently not possible. And that's how cleverly this clip draws you back to the reality of now. The assimilation of the overlapping boxed images of old movie clips are sanity for a good while, leading to an almost lethargic awakening of dance, captured and held within a boxed space, being curtailed to Zoom classes, and slowly, almost with a feeling of trepidation, venturing into the outside world once again, and daring to dance, to breathe the air and feel the wet, fresh foliage. So evocatively tells the journey dancers have weathered over these past few months of the pandemic. The finger on the play and pause icons are linked to the outside world, a replay of what we have been through and a reminder that we're not quite out of it. The music, on the other hand, had great clarity but didn't quite balance the visuals for me. Maybe that amplified the yearning for what was, and the dance, the disquiet of what is. A note for Arjunan: when doing short, diverse collaborative partnerships, try not to use vocalized rhythmical configurations from well-known dance pieces that is instantly recognizable to every Bharatanatyam dancer. Otherwise, nicely done, Amrita, Arjunan and Bhairavi. You clearly delivered on the brief of Box. Thank you all, and especially the Box team, for your carefully curated work delivered with such professionalism during these unprecedented times. And thank you for having me.
Thank you, Anandavalli. Your careful and sensitive comments, I'm sure, will be valued by the performers. Today's edition illuminates the idea of inclusivity and diversity that have been so carefully curated. Ideas that are ever more vital in today's arts discourse. Thank you, Nithya Nagarajan and Raghav Handa. Thank you too, and congratulations to all 10 performers, dancers and composers. Boxed comes to an end. We were early out of the gate when the global pandemic was just setting in. We reached out to dancers to become creators and choreographers across geographies and nationalities. It's only now that artistic directors and choreographers are thinking of using their dancers for projects of dance for camera, as well as Arts Council are now reaching out to their cultural constituency. We were among the early ones. Boxed has delivered 40 original dance and theatre presentations, 30 original music scores, artists from 9 countries, 25 cities. We've also shown 21 short films created by dancers themselves. Whew. Take a bow, Team Boxed. To our talented trio sitting in Bengaluru, line producer Masoom Parmar, creatives and visual editor Kirti Kumar, and editor Devansh Gandhi, bravo! And special thank you to guest editor Wei Jun from Kuala Lumpur. To my Chennai colleague Raksha Patel, who until March had never heard of Instagram and now is so nimble that she's teaching me a thing or two. We've named her InstaBen. Thank you, Raksha. And to our series consultant, who ever thought that my idea, that phone call we had in early April, and the valuable inputs you gave me to give shape and contour to the Boxed project? Can you believe what this has turned out to be? Take a bow, Chitra Sundaram. And to you, our loyal viewers, thank you for your comments and your praise and your excitement and your enthusiasm. It has meant so much to us. To India's mainstream media who has covered this project, thank you for giving us national visibility. Finally, Boxed is a tribute to the dancing body that refuses to stay still during this global pandemic of fear, confusion, unrest. So keep dancing, keep the flame burning, never give up, keep dreaming. For now, it's over and out from Team Boxed. Boxed.
Boxed. Boxed.
Boxed.